This pregnancy, let's make my hair look good. Yeah, it looks good. We gotta make sure we take our prenatals to make sure that it stays that way. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alicia, and today we are gonna go to a short recap of my second trimester. I am now currently in my third trimester, 30 weeks and counting. Will be 31 weeks on Saturday. Let me give you a glimpse of the belly. This is what the belly's looking like now. Little mama's in here doing her thing. I know it's a different background than before. I think I like this background a little bit better, but whatever. So before all that, please do not forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can be updated on anything that's going on. Don't mind the background noise that people are working outside. I'm just inside with the door open because it's actually a nice day today and not extremely humid and hot in Georgia. So I'm taking advantage of the door being open. All right, so at the end of my first trimester, I did mention what was going on in the beginning of my second trimester, which was some bleeding per usual. So I'm gonna let you know what happened with that in detail. So the Wednesday morning of my, I wanna say 19th week, going on to my 20th week, I was talking to my husband per usual on the phone, and I would need to use the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, I put the phone down. He's still talking to me, I'm talking to him, I'm using the bathroom, and I wipe. And as many of us do, we look at the tissue. If you don't, you should, because it can tell a lot about what's going on within you. But I looked at the tissue, and I saw that there was a brownish, pinkish tinge to what was a wipe. So then I pulled my underwear forward to see the seat of my underwear, and I saw that there was a collection of blood there. So what I did was I yelled at my husband. I was like, I'm bleeding. And he was like, again? And I was like, yeah, but I don't feel any pain and it's only brownish pink. I'm still letting my doctor know. So note to anyone out there, if you do see blood in your underwear or the seat of your underwear, if you are pregnant, that happens throughout pregnancy. But the things you should be looking for is if it's a red tinge, clotting, pain, and if it soaks through a pad. So before I left out the bathroom, I put a liner on and I texted my doctor. I said, hey, after using the bathroom this morning, I wiped and I saw there's a brownish tinge to my wipe, and when I looked at my underwear, I saw there's a collection of blood. She said, okay. I told her immediately there was no pain, there was no clotting, it was just brownish pinkish on the paper and then brownish in my underwear. She said, watch it for a couple of hours and let me know if it continues. So I went about my day, started working. I really was paying attention more so if I felt any pain, any cramping or anything like that, which I did not, thank God. But whatchamacallit. But after a while, I just forgot about it. Then there was a knock per usual, that knock, knock, knock. I have to use the bathroom. And this was well past a couple of hours at this point. I went to use the bathroom. I looked at the seat of my underwear and I saw that there was a bit of blood there. And then when I wiped, there was still blood there. So I texted her and said, I'm still currently bleeding. She said, all right, we want to see you on Friday. So appointment's made. We go in on Friday. The doctor asked me 3 questions, which they're going to ask you. Is 1, were you standing for a long period of time? 2, were you doing strenuous workouts? And 3, have you had intercourse recently? All 3 of those answers for me was a no, was a negative, friend. So she said she's going to do 2 exams, a speculum exam and a bimanual. So I changed and she commenced to do the speculum exam. Speculum exams are normally done with a speculum. A light, normally the speculum is metal or plastic. I personally prefer the metal ones because it's less pinching for me. Then the plastic. I know plastic is more probably hygienic for a lot, but for the metal ones, I'm old school. This is just me, right? So she does the speculum exam. With the speculum exam, they use the speculum, they use a light. Normally warm water or gel is used to insert into the vagina. The speculum allows the physician to see the vagina and the cervix. With that, they can see if there's any trauma or anything that's happening, or if any leakage is coming out from the cervix. That's how you do your pap smears as well. So for anyone that didn't know, that's how it's done. So when she looked, there was nothing that she could see. All she could see was there was a little bit of pool of blood there. She didn't see where it was coming from. So then she did the bimanual to make sure that my cervix was high and closed. So as a pregnant person, you want your cervix to be high and closed at the moment. I believe it's high, not low, I believe. Sorry, there was a wasp. I believe. So she checks and my cervix is still closed, but she was like, I don't know where it's coming from, so I want you to get an ultrasound today. So we did the ultrasound, which is the belly and the transvaginal. Transvaginal is when a probe goes into the vagina versus just doing the normal on the belly exam. So when they did the transvaginal, they noticed that a part of my placenta was on top of my cervix, which was where the bleeding was causing. Which is causing the bleeding. There we go. And it's medically known as placenta previa. So for those that don't know, placenta previa is when your placenta decides to attach itself to the opening of your cervix. This can cause an issue with the pregnancy because the baby can bleed and bleed to death, and you can too. So it's a serious situation that I was really concerned about, but thank God, it was only a partial previa, and they said it should solve itself as my uterus grows with the pregnancy. So it should go from over it, like here's my cervix. It was like this. It should slide up as my uterus grows, but they have to monitor me. So they want to see me back in 6 weeks. 6 weeks comes, they check, my placenta previa is resolved, and then the doctor decides to tell me or ask me, do you have gestational diabetes? And I said, not to my knowledge, I haven't had the test done yet. He goes, okay. Have you had gestational diabetes before? I said, not to my knowledge. I didn't have gestational diabetes, blah, blah, blah. I can't speak. I didn't have gestational diabetes before. He said, okay, were your babies big? And in my head, I'm like, why is he asking me all these questions? Like, why don't you just say what he wants to say versus asking me all these questions? But I answered, I said, no, my son was 6 pounds 4, my daughter was 7'4". He goes, oh, maybe you just have large babies. And I said, maybe. Why? He said, well, this baby is measuring a week and a half ahead, and her legs are really long for her size. And I said, well, that makes sense because my son is 15 and he's 6'3". My daughter is 6 going on 7, and she's almost 5 feet. It makes sense to me. And he goes, oh, okay. And so needless to say, I'm carrying a long big baby per usual. She is quite heavy. After that hoopla of placenta previa and him questioning my baby and my second trimester was a simple, easy trimester. I did deal with more back pain than I did before. Also dealt with minor headaches. That makes any sense. With this pregnancy, I didn't have constipation like you normally have in this trimester. It was actually pretty good. But other than that, it's been a breeze. I didn't have the energy spike like everyone said they have in second trimester. It was more so like, I guess I don't want to sleep today. You know what I mean? I guess. But it wasn't like, ugh, so much energy out here in these streets. No. I did a lot of collecting of stuff for the baby. As you can see back there, there's a car seat stuff. I'm gonna go over all of that later on in other videos, because there's a lot to come. But I do want to touch on the beginning of this third trimester, because you're gonna see me throughout this trimester. I just want to update you on what happened this particular trimester. I feel like every trimester starts with foolery and nonsense, and this is what this trimester has started out with. So as you know, between the weeks of 25 to 28 weeks, you are given a glucose test, which is where you're given a 50 milligram drink that you drink within 5 minutes, wait an hour, get your blood drawn. And you also test for iron as well. So I did that 2 weeks ago when I was 28 weeks, and failed. Failed miserably. You're supposed to be under 140 as normal. I was 153, and my hemoglobin, which is my iron in my blood, was actually 1111, which is horrible. But I've always been anemic. I think this last year before I got pregnant, this first year I haven't been anemic, but I was also vitamin D deficient. So something going on. I understand that. I think I'll be okay. But I do have to do a 3-hour test just to rule out the fact that I may not have, or hope that I don't have gestational diabetes. I'm crossing my fingers and praying to God that this is just, it just takes me a little bit longer to filter out the sugar as I am pregnant, and I'm praying that that's the thing. So I'll have those results by next week, I would say. So I will update you in my video where I'm putting the crib and the dresser together to begin this nursery share situation. That will be happening very, very, very soon. I do still have a couple of pieces that's supposed to be in that nursery, not in the nursery yet. So hang tight for me with that. I'll just probably add it and just show you a whole nursery tour after everything's all said and done. I will have a haul on everything that we have bought so far for the baby. There's still quite a bit more that I do want to purchase for her. Well, not quite a bit more. I would say just to be secure in what she has coming, I think is what I need. I keep doing this. Is what I need. And then it'll just be getting ready for this little child. It's been a long road. Thank you for bearing with me. It was birthdays, beginning of school. If you're here in Georgia, you know that school starts in August versus September, like some of the other states. So it was really getting my daughter started and getting her on a schedule, back on schedule for school, and starting that first week of school. This is now her second week of school. So yeah, I will come back and update you. I may do a shop with me, I'm not entirely sure, but if I do, you will come with me. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this little fast run through of my second trimester. Again, nothing really happened other than the beginning that resolved itself, just like how the beginning of this third trimester is another set of fooleries, and hopefully it resolves itself. I actually have more energy this trimester than I did the last one. Odd, but thank you again for joining me. Thank you for watching, and I hope you watch all my other videos. Thank you again. Again, there is a giveaway still happening. It ends on the 31st of this month. You can watch that video. It's the tote and carry review. The rules are there. I do have a bag to give away. Go ahead and watch that video, get those rules, and comment. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Heart you guys much. Bye guys.